Ladies and gentlemen, I got Colby Thicknesse here, fresh off his win, UFC Perth. It's lovely to have you back on the channel, Colby. Welcome back, man. How you feeling after the big win?
Feeling good, bravo. It was been 3 and a bit weeks since dance with Jai, so I'm healed up pretty well and things are going well. Like I've got no complaints. It was a tough fight, but I'm happy to be in the position I am in now from it.
Yeah, you certainly healed up well. I mean, you were back in the gym pretty much that week, eh? It was only the eye that was giving you. Oh no, the shin too, right?
Yeah. Well, after the fight, my calf was pretty beat up, so I was on crutches that Sunday and Monday, and then I flew back Monday night. And obviously, flying, you got heaps of inflammation. I was like, man, I'm gonna be sore as shit tomorrow. And I woke up Tuesday morning. I was like, Bella, you wouldn't believe it. She's like, what? And I got out of bed. I started jumping around. I was like, I'm fine. Like I've got stitches
Really?
in my leg. I was bruised on my face, but like my leg was completely fine. Like I've always healed pretty quick from things. Like I'm pretty pasty, so I bruise pretty easily. So it probably looks worse than it actually is. But I've always been one to like heal from things quick. Like I broke my back, I healed from that pretty quick. I was meant to get like 2 surgeries in my knee, and I rehabbed it. Did S&C. I needed 0 surgery. So like my body's pretty good at sort of healing itself.
Yeah, bouncing back. Oh, to be young, to be young. Hey, just on that quickly, not to jump off topic so
Mhm.
quickly, but you just said then that pasty and you bruise real easily. Man, you know what? Like that is actually something that should be taken into account
Bro,
more,
bro.
eh? Like that just size, bro. He showed nothing, man.
Yeah,
He showed nothing. His skin just didn't show the
yeah,
damage, bro. It was there. You know it was there, but it
yeah,
just doesn't show the
yeah,
damage as well, eh?
yeah,
Whereas
bro.
you,
Bro,
yours
bleach
shows
hair too, so
everything.
you get blood. But
Yeah,
I had
fully.
one bloody nostril, but because I get nosebleeds, I had my nose cauterized 3 times. I'm just a nosebleed type of guy,
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
so like it's just bit of blood. I grapple with sweat. Like if anybody's ever got a nosebleed in the shower, it looks like you've been murdered. So you can
Yeah, a
imagine when
hundred.
it's sweaty and like it gets spread in my hair and that. Like so, I mean, like, I think I had some superficial bruises, but people like saw my face like, oh wow, he's like everything must be broken, but it just looks so much worse because I was pasty and there's just blood everywhere.
Yeah, you love it a bit too, like you embrace it. So then it's more out there. You know what I mean? It's not like you ran off, covered yourself up,
Yeah,
hid. You know what I mean? You were just out there showing it.
living
Um,
life.
yeah, living large. So tell me, like takeaways from the fight. How do you feel? I mean, what the difference between how it felt in there and now you've come back and I'm sure you've watched it with the team. Like, what's how you feeling about it?
I'm not very happy with it, to be honest. Like, if I had to give it a rate, I'd probably give it like a 3 or a 4 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot of things that we did in prep didn't get executed the way we wanted it to. And there's actually a few reasons why I was almost telling myself certain things, but like my body wasn't doing it and that. But it just comes down to not, but I guess just long story short is I guess I just didn't show up to fight my fight, because the easiest way to explain it is like in the training room, I'm doing all these things to, you've seen me when I'm flowing, I'm in my zone, I'm just loose, I'm just having a good time with, obviously when you fight, you have to be more serious than that. But it also, in a sense, it wasn't even about the fight. It was about like the act of winning, because I knew like realistically, like it was sort of like an unspoken thing going into that. Like realistically, if I lost that fight, if I got knocked out or so, like something, UFC were probably going to cut me. And then obviously like that things can play on your mind in a
Oh,
performance aspect. So like I honestly think I fought better against Tapura in a loss than I fought against Dryas in a win. And it was purely because it was just, all right, I have no expectations, no pressure, I can go out and fight. But
mm,
in this fight, I was like, all right, well, I've had pretty much the perfect camp. I've had all these great opportunities come to me, like life-changing sponsors, card, like everything like that, all because of this UFC thing. But now I have to go out and fight for 15 minutes, and like there's a chance that anything
mm.
can happen in 4 ounce gloves, that you get clipped, you get slept, you get cut, then like everything can fade away. So it's like not that it
Lot on your
played heavily,
shoulders, yeah.
yeah, not that it played too heavily on my mind, but I think I definitely let them sort of thoughts and that sort of dwindle in. And like, it's my own fault. Like, I didn't tell anybody about this until my sports
Mm.
psychologist when I spoke to him like 2 weeks after my fight. And so I think now it's good that we're doing this, or I'm talking to the other boys, like, I can be open and honest about them sort of things, because obviously keeping it in wasn't the best fucking strategy for it.
Yeah. From me, from like a not only a mate, but like from just watching that fight, like, bro, there's no such thing as an easy fight now in the UFC. There's
Oh,
no like they do not exist, bro. Like
yep.
that dude was a beast, man.
Hmm.
He was
Yep.
certified, bro. Like
Yep.
so when I watched that and you know how well you were able to flip the script in the first round. He came out and seemed to be putting the pace on you a little bit in the striking,
Mhm.
and you were able to flip the script, man, straight away. Look, arms burn out, bro. How many times have we seen that in the UFC, man?
Mhm.
From vets all the way down to guys in their first couple of fights. It happens to everybody, bro. My thing is, I wouldn't beat yourself up too
Yep.
much over it. At the end of the day, you got the W against an
Yep.
absolute fucking killer, bro. Like he
Yep.
was so good, man. Like he was a weapon, bro. So explosive, really good on the feet, man. But then, like I've spoken to you, hey, like you've just got that the gap between most of your competitors and you.
He just walked in. It's just gonna be a podcast partner.
My man.
My man, you can go out now, buddy. You've got your moment of the sunshine.
What a legend. The eyes, bro.
Nothing behind
The,
him.
no,
Legit.
and yeah, like in my opinion, man, like the most of your opposition is
Elite.
hasn't gained on you in the grappling what you've gained on them in the striking.
Yep.
Like you said, I have seen you in those flow states. I can't wait for you to be able to get into a position where you can feel comfortable, like you said, with not all this pressure and stuff, which, man, holy shit, like that is a lot of pressure, bro. How old are you again, Colby?
26.
26. Second
Yeah.
fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
Hey, all I'll say is congratulations for the W and take a moment to smell the roses,
Yeah.
enjoy the view a little
Yeah.
bit, bro. Don't beat yourself up so
Yeah.
much about it. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
champions are their own worst critics. That's their biggest critics anyway. But what about any stories from the event, bro? What happened? Like, I mean, we had Carlos Ulberg take out the fight against against Dominic
Yeah.
Reyes. We had Jimmy get his win. We had Jack Jenkins get the win. I mean, there was the weird one with Jake Matthews.
Yeah.
What about behind the scenes? Was there
To be
any
honest,
crazy
bro,
stuff
like,
going?
because I was pretty obviously beat up about it. So like, I had to walk like 400 meters to get to the medical thing, like beat up as I was. And then I was getting my leg stitched, and they're like, "What's the most pain you're in?" And I was like, "My arms still." Like, bro, like that adrenaline dump from my arms. Like you've seen a hardware train. I haven't felt anything close to a fifth of that in my arms, which is like, it's good to know that I can get through it mentally, but that's just to sort of put in perspective, like the pain I was in. And then I got up. Probably funniest part was I got up after that, and I was like, "Oh, sick. So where's the painkillers, that doc?" And he just looks at me and
Where's
laughs.
the green stick?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh no, can I get painkillers?" He sort of shakes his head at me. So I didn't get any painkillers. So then I had to go do media. Hopping around. I finally got crutches, and then we had to do like team photos and shit. We had to wait for Jamie. It's like an hour after this by this point. So then I'm sitting there with my leg on a chair waiting for photos, and I see these paramedics. I'm just like, and they come over and like, "What's up?" I was like, "Can I have some painkillers?"
What you
And like,
got?
what do you mean? I was like, "I've had no painkillers since this." And like, oh, bull. Like, I'm like, I fought like an hour ago now. I'm in agony. Like, oh yeah, sure, we'll get you some. They come over, they give me 2 Panadol.
No.
And I had to sign a form and give them all my details with 2 fucking Panadols. I'm like,
What do you look like, an addict or something?
oh, bro, I was like, I would have just rather not taken anything. It was this
Yeah,
much
exactly.
hassle, like
Yeah.
just to get 2 Panadols. I would have just waited to get back to the hotel.
Couple of Valium would have been nice.
Oh, bro, anything at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, I mean, one thing I guess you can look at, like to jump back to the fight a little bit, sorry to
Mhm.
keep jumping around, but
All
like
good.
one thing I guess you can take away from that as a major positive is like what you just said then is after after how hectic that second round was for you, you knew what was on the line coming into the third and you were able to get that body lock, get that takedown, finish around in a dominant position after, man. Like I remember saying to Paddy, bro, we were watching you fight, and I remember getting to the end and you were in that side position. It was like a bulldog choke almost,
Weird
like kind
bulldog,
of
yeah.
yeah. And I remember thinking, Paddy was like, "Wow, what a first round! Like incredible first round! Like from you, like he was like he couldn't ask for a better first round." And I just remember both of us looking at each other going like, oi, bro, like I hope
Big
his
round.
arms are okay after that, bro. Like, and I
Yeah.
mean, Volk, I'm sure Volk was thinking the same too, because he was calling out to you to finish it, eh? Like he
Yeah.
was going like, get it done, even
Mm.
in that awkward position. So
Yeah.
how did you feel in between the round?
Oh, bro, I remember like there's two parts. The first one was I remember after I did it, and I just first thought went to my head is fuck, it's gonna be a long 10 minutes. First thing that went through my head, and the second thing was like coming back to that performance aspect. Like it was because I wanted to win. Everybody wants to win, but it's like there's ways to go about it. Like when you're flowing in that, you're fighting and like you sort of fight and you perform, and like the victory will come to you, whether it's a finish or a decision. Just sort of let it
It's a
plays out.
reactive thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
got him down, and in my head, I'm like 50K performance of the night. I'm gonna punch the fuck out of him until he gives me up his neck, or I'm gonna sub him or something like that. And then it was more resilient and probably more. I catch a lot of people when they scramble and create opportunities, but he wasn't scrambling. So like you would see, like you probably all around you. I should never see anybody in our gym get bottom mount and just hang on like that.
Never.
Like so, it's something I haven't really prepared that much
No.
for. I'm used to
It's all
punching when
scrambles
people
where, yeah.
are moving or catching scrambles and that. Whereas he was so content. So even just for little things, of getting forearms in, using all my strength to break his grip to get one little shot off, and so it was like a lot more physical than I guess I probably would have expected from being in such a dominant position. And then I was like, all right, I got 20 seconds left. I reckon I can get this choke and get him out of here, because there's always that part in your head. It's like, all right, this is my best chance to win it. If I can get
Yep.
him out here, I don't have to worry about 10 minutes. I've just got it done.
Exactly.
So you go for it. I knew it wasn't necessarily there, but I was hoping maybe just like bit of fatigue or just give him a way out. He might just quit, but fair play to him. It was resilient, as everybody's going to be UFC. So it was almost a couple tactical things there where I sort of would worry too much about get this win right away, instead of where it could have been things where I set up like an arm triangle, or I could have poshed it up more, held the base and dropped bigger elbows and just trying to punch to get the finish. Like they weren't big damaging shots, and I knew they weren't, but I'm like, all I have to do is punch him for 10 seconds. Jim tells him to move 2 times. He can't move. The ref's going to call the fight off.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So okay. So firstly, how did Josiah feel in regards to previous opponents? Like, did he feel especially fast, especially strong? Was there anything about him? I mean, ultimately, all these guys are going to be hectic for
Yeah.
you at this point. But like, was there anything?
I'm trying to think him compared to Poirier. Like he hits hard, but like a lot of the times if you look when I got hit, it's the biggest thing for me was like the biggest problem with that fight was me is my movement. Which is why we practiced movement to stay at range, but I didn't stay at range. I stayed fucking 2 meters away from range, and then I tried to come in closing too much space, getting caught. It was just like I was playing two different ranges, which I never played in the gym, but I played in
Nah.
that fight just because things happen like that. It's good to learn from. So
Yeah.
his pressure was more than Tapora's, but I didn't feel as threatened, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
with Tapora, I knew, all right, he's probably throwing 3 or 4 big combos at me, whereas like Josiah, so I'm like, all right, I can see what he's throwing. Like he's going to throw big, I'm going to block it, but because I'm circling with it against a south, against a right hook, it's going to look bad. I'm going with it, but it wasn't like, oh, well, like I'm dazed
Yeah.
or anything like that. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
like the going with it. So visually it probably looked worse, but it wasn't like Tapora, because when Tapora at least got me the overhand, I was like, I didn't even see that coming. I was like, oh shit, I'm backed up now, sort of thing. Whereas
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I was clear through everything.
You still like your chin holds though, bro. Like even when those big shots come through, like honestly, like to me anyway, I don't see any moments where you lose clarity. You don't
Yeah,
like you're still there, fully there.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly. Yeah,
mean? And I think that's a major thing, guys. Especially got like would have been pretty tough for him in that second round, man. Like being feeling like he was getting it up on you big time, bro, and then just still not being able to find it.
yeah,
Like you were burnt, man. So
yeah.
like I think in that third round, yeah. Anyway, we saw how it played out. It was a good fight, bro. I'm stoked that you got the win. Absolutely
Appreciate that.
frothing you got the win, brother. And have you started looking? Are you just chilling out now? Or you started looking towards future opponents? You got eyes on anybody? What's the
Um, I,
feel?
I, I'm like I'm like 70 or 71, so I sort of just suss out everybody from like 70 to 50 and sort of see what's booked, who's probably keen to fight and things like that. But I got a 180-day medical suspension because my eye, which is because I got a fractured orbital white at the back. So actually, it sounds a lot worse than it actually is. Like I'm back full training already, maybe a couple of days early, but like full sparring. I mean, because I've been doing light sparring, so if they listen to this, it's actually not that bad.
Oh,
But
you dudes are
they
nuts,
give you that
man.
automatic suspension. So but I just need to go get a CT scan, and then once it's a clear CT scan, they pull the suspension, and then I guess they can offer you fights. But I don't think I assume they're legally not allowed to say, hey, do you want to fight at this state when I've still got maybe like, what is probably 150 days left on a medical suspension from a commission
The
sort of thing.
entire thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like where all the talks February, right?
Yep, yep.
Like for an Aussie card. I mean, that's obviously the
Oh,
best
yeah.
case
Oh,
scenario.
without a doubt. Yeah, completely. Yeah, I'd love to do that. And then obviously,
The talk Volks on there.
yeah, exactly right. Like if he gets to headline that, I couldn't, like, how sick would it be? Like, that would be like, I had three things coming into the sport, and I was like, I want to make the UFC, I want to win a UFC fight, and I want to be on like a card with Bulk.
How good would
I was
that
like,
be?
even like for me, like it would be like fighting on a card with Bulk would mean more to me than winning a world title, which some
Yeah.
people may be like, the fuck, but like, just I don't like. The only way I could explain it is like I always use analogies. Like imagine you walked into a basketball gym randomly, you saw a young Kobe Bryant, you just became mates with him, and then 13 years later, you're both like playing in the playoffs or something together. Like there's just like
Yeah.
the winning, and that doesn't matter at that point. It's just like fuck, like look at where we got to in this sport, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's so sick too, because you just forget how early on in the career you were involved with
Yeah,
Volk, man.
I think it was 3-0 or 2-0 or something. Like it was what I probably started a month before I got his first professional loss, welterweight or middleweight, whatever it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow, that'd be amazing, bro. That'd be
yeah.
so sick. Any names? Like if it like okay, so like
Hmm?
if you were required to make a call out for February,
Yeah.
have you thought of any names that you would like, guys that are realistic potential matchups for you? Is there anybody out there that you might shoot your shot at?
I
Because I
wouldn't mind
mean,
that
like,
Carlos Vera's up around me. He's active at the moment. Or
yeah,
that what's his name? The guy who was meant to fight Worldmaker but pulled out. I wasn't. He's around 50 something. That Sydney or whatever, 12 and
yeah,
2 Canadian. But I'm thinking, mate, because he's pulled out with that injury, so who knows? He might be healed to go up in that times. But realistically, like anybody who puts me a couple rankings ahead at this point has not come. Like I can't be too picky. Like if they want to give me someone like a Cameron Simon who's coming off 3 losses, like I don't really have much options to say no or something like that. I pretty much just got to accept what give me. But I wouldn't mind someone around sort of. I actually wouldn't mind a vet. Like I think that'd be cool. Like to fight like a Honey Yaya, who's like 28 and like 14 or something like that. I know he's getting on in that, but it's still like 40 something. He's probably been in the UFC longer than I've been fighting and things like that. So I wouldn't mind getting like
yeah.
a cool
A
vet, like
gate, bit of a
something like
gatekeeper
that.
fight.
Yeah, exactly right.
Talking to that, like, what do you think about like the Cody Haddon? Like talking about Wellmaker and that. Like, what do you think about the Cody Haddon
I
Wellmaker
think people
fight
are sleeping on him bad, eh, bro? Like
on
I understand.
Cody?
Yeah, I understand
Cody's a
Worldmaker's
weapon,
got
eh?
hyped because he's like he slept Chris Munoz and Sean O'Malley didn't, but like they're two very like different fighters sort of thing. And like I don't think sleeping Chris is like all that impressive. And then even beating Cameron Simon, like that's a good win. He like bullied him, but like I think yeah, I think Cody's a tough pro. I think Cody's obviously the underdog, and I think he can give him a lot of problems. Especially, they're smart that Laristo Combat Academy team. Like they know, like what's Wellmaker's best bet. He's going to try to catch you with a hook or a straight in that boxing range. Cody's just probably as good, if not better, in that boxing range. But so he's better there. He's smart enough to know, like I'm not going to just fight my fight in that range. So I'm sure he's going to
Mm,
fix up his kicks, his body work, his
yes.
takedowns. He's going to make it. So we haven't
And a bit of
seen.
fence game too. Like he'll
Yeah,
use the
exactly.
fence
We
a lot
haven't
too,
seen
Cody.
Wellmaker be the nail in any of these situations in like even for a minute or something. So I'm more just sort of keen to see how he plays. Like, all right, things probably aren't going to go your way early. If they go your way, like Cody's not going to be fucking nowhere near as easy to put out as all these other guys. So I think it's going to be. I think I think it might turn into a dogfight, and I'm always gonna back someone like
Back
Cody because you've
Cody
seen
in a
him
dog.
in a dogfight sort
Yes.
of thing. We haven't seen these other guys tested sort of thing.
And like we all know, like Cody's game as game
Yeah,
gets,
bro.
bro. Like he was only saying, I swear, only like a few months ago because he couldn't get a fight. He was talking about BKFC. Like that dude is not afraid. Like
Yep.
he'll be putting it straight to Wellmaker from the get go. And I feel like you. I feel like we've spoken about this a little bit. Like they've got this fantasy fairy tale thing set up for Wellmaker. He's on a
Mm.
bit of a run, and they just think they're going to be feeding Cody into that
Yep.
fairy tale, man. And I agree. I don't think they're going to get the guy that they're expecting. Like
No.
Cody's a
No.
dog, man.
Yeah, exactly right.
He's a
Yeah.
dog.
Mhm.
What about same team? What about Quill? What do you reckon this Nasrat fight? Look, I'll be straight up. I'll hit first on this one, man. Nasrat is a hard card to
Mhm.
pull, bro.
Yeah.
That's a hard fight, man, for anyone in that division.
Yep.
He's not an easy fight. I mean, you train like Malarkey, like,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. Exactly. Yeah. It's hard to say because like I've only ever watched one Nazareth fight, and that was against Jamie. And then every time someone says Nazareth, I just think of Kelvin Gastelum, and I get Kelvin Gastelum thing. So like
Yeah,
Take's probably half the most fucking accurate on him. So like I'm not
he's
gonna
a
bullshit. Like I don't know that much about him, but I'm always just gonna back for Aussies anyway. Like,
yeah for
but
sure.
realistically, I always think you see anybody who's proven themselves in the Australian scene on like your Eternals, your Hexes, or whatever they've went to, and they've actually stabbed themselves as like the number one in their respective divisions. They can get catapulted pretty high in the UFC and do pretty well. Like look at
Mm,
Usyk, defended the
mm.
Eternal belt twice, and like 4 or 5 fights later, he fought in Pantoja and arguably gave him his hardest fight to date.
I used the exact same reference yesterday, man. I used the same one. Like Urseg's a perfect example
Yeah.
of this situation. And a guy, the best thing about late notice fights, man, is it's anyone's. It's not just the guy that's been in camp because you're just as much of an anomaly to them as what
Hmm.
they are to you. Like they've
Exactly.
got that amount of time to prepare with you. As long as you're a guy that's got cardio and those things that can maintain across the whole rounds, I mean, it's anybody's fight on short
Yeah.
notice. And like you said, a guy like Quill off the back of two pretty high profile wins. Like it'd be interesting. A Nasrat win, he's on a 5 fight win streak.
Mm.
But they're expecting him to make another bump at the top 15. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Quill got if he gets it up against Nasrat, which I'm sure he will, back the Aussies. But like, be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a decent fight next day.
Yeah, bro, that's the thing with like Aussies, especially. I guess it's anybody who trains year round in that, but you can always, even without the bias, like you can always back him a lot more confidently in like a short noticing. Like, easiest example is like, imagine like we saw, oh, Paddy's fighting Ilya in 4 weeks. You're like, oh, Paddy's probably gonna get slept. Like, how's he gonna cut all this weight and things like that? Like, even though he's plays up his weight for like the camera and that is like, there's still big boys for the division. So I think even just a sign that you can make the weight on the short notice and your game and that, I think that's already like a massive advantage and favor to these guys sort of thing. Because like I know, like I had my one of my worst sparring sessions versus Saturday morning, and I got called to fight Taporia Saturday night. But I was like, oh, like I've got nothing to like. I've got a fair bit of weight to cut and knocking it off. I've been training as hard as if I've got a fight booked. Like I'm fair, I'm ready. Like I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And going in that with that mindset can make you super dangerous. So someone like Quinlan, he's like, fuck, they gave me 9 days notice. I flew to Abu Dhabi to fight like someone in the top 20. Like let's just go out, have a crack, and I reckon I can beat him. Let's see what happens, sort of thing. So I think that's
It's a
even just that
fight.
mindset going in just makes it real dangerous. Whereas Nazar, it's like, oh, I'm fighting this up and comer. He's had 2 fights. I'm on a 5. Like if I lose everything, he gets everything I've worked so hard for, and it can really play on the other person's mind more.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. And like, yeah, he could do it, man. He absolutely could do it. Quill could do it. He's a very tricky guy, and it's a fight, man. Like
Yeah, legit,
anybody can.
legit. And today's a fight. Anything can happen.
What about the rest of the freestyle team? Like speaking of Abu Dhabi, like
Hmm?
haven't you got Amina over there
Yeah,
at the
Mina's
moment?
on. What time is it? Mina's on in like 5 hours, actually.
No way.
Yeah.
How cool is that, eh? Just doing those UAE trips over there, going to
Yeah, yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah. I'd be sick to go over there. Actually, they look like they look after you pretty well there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've got
You're going.
Amina up tonight, and then you got K-Sib on in Hex against Chris. And then I
He's
think,
the
oh no, it's
Lions
just
Den.
Lions then, dude. Yeah, I think before that, Justin's the week before. I think you got Justin versus George.
George, that's a
Yeah,
hectic
big
fight,
fight.
bro.
Yeah,
That's a
hectic.
rematch too.
Yeah.
The rematch too, man. That'll be a tough one, bro. Like, let's to talk candidly. Like, I'm mates with both those guys. I mean, you're in the same gym with in freestyle with Justin. That is a difficult. Well, let's call a spade a spade. That's a really hard fight for Justin, bro. At this stage, I'm saying, like, just I think George is just he will be coming back from what happened at Dana White Contender Series. I just think there's going to be a big thing to prove here, man. What do
Yeah.
you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like we hung out in Miami for like a week and a half with George and that. So like, as much as Justin's my teammate and that, like I've had George is still I consider a good friend. Like we've had
Yeah.
great, like
Yeah, he's a good dude. We
yeah,
had
they're
some good
both good
times, eh?
dudes. So like, obviously you would have to back my teammate, but like looking at it objectively, I can see paths to win for both people. And
Mm.
it's almost that thing where it's like, all right, so George had his chance on the contender, he lost it. This is his redemption arc with a fire under his belly to come out and prove like, all right, try and hold me down for 3 rounds now. I'm gonna like fuck anybody up who tries that. Whereas Justin's on the other end, where he's like, oh, people think I'm at the tail end of my career. If I lost my last fight, people telling me retire. Fucking go out and take this young gun. Now I stole like that Nazareth Quinlan situation. I stole it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's like it's a hard thing like that. So I think it's going to be sick fight. I do wish it was 5 rounds because I think them boys like it was a sick fight and then George caught him in the triangle
At the end,
on
yeah.
Hex. I think it was the 3rd round or something. But then like
Mm.
George was having good moments on the feet. Justin was able to get to his back. He couldn't finish him, but was able to win rounds by controlling him. So I think it's a good sort of like both boys have paths to victories. And they both know what the
Yes.
other person is going to do to try and win. So it's more just going to be who can show up on the night and implement the game plan better than the other person.
It's not a bad look for George after the fight he had because, like, Justin's exceptionally strong. He's a very good
Yep.
grappler,
Yep.
great body locks, great body triangle, very good at backpacking. Like, these are all things that George has, had. When he's had adversity, it's been in those parts. Like,
Yep.
not saying he's low end in those things. I'm just saying when he's had adversity, those
Yep.
limited times, it's been in those areas. If you
Yep.
understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But so it would be it's a good comeback fight for him, man. A lot on the line. What do you reckon? What do you reckon after the Marwan one, bro? He's a PRP teammate of
Yep.
yours. I'm sure you guys were watching pretty
Mhm.
closely for that fight. Did you like what a wild
Yep.
fight, bro?
Yeah, I saw a bit
Oh
of his
my,
opponent. I was like, I was like, Mar's gonna come out and smoke this dude. And then
yeah.
he did a knee looking. I was like, oh
Oh
fuck.
my God,
Yeah, but
bro.
that recovery was something else. And to rally and then come back like that, and then could obviously see pretty much by the end of the first, I was like, oh, I think Ahmed's gonna be out of here in probably a minute. Like then they
Yeah,
said, oh, he sat on the floor, couldn't get to a stool. I was like, I think Marwan's gonna finish him within 90 seconds there. As long as he does it safe, and you could see once I forget his name, once it was way more them overhands were way more laboured and Marwan
yeah,
half a meter out from seeing them and that sort of thing. So yeah,
yeah.
I think it was a good comeback fight. Like everybody knows, like I've been in very similar situations, so I always respect a fellow Aussie who can get dropped and come back and rally for a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
win.
yeah, yeah. Oh man. I'll tell you what though, don't make a habit of it either of you, please.
The stress level is too
For yeah,
high.
for my heart. All right, so can you give me any updates? Well, not so much updates, but any behind the scenes stuff going on? I mean, we're all waiting to see this Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena matchup. We know that freestyles had a lot to do with the scrappy MMA team in the past with Jack. We've seen Volk's working with him, Craig's working with him. That's your camp.
Yep.
Any intel? How's he looking?
Bolt came back, was it this week? I think no, he came back last Saturday from it, and he was just very high praised and very impressed with Jack, which I think is without giving too much away, sort of thing, which is what you want to hear from a guy who had arguably beat him in the first fight, sort of thing. Second fight doesn't count, like meh.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, someone who was able to do that.
AI.
Yeah, exactly, it is. But oh man, like I just maybe I'm just delusionally biased, but I just don't see how Jack doesn't get it done. Like, I've trained with Jack. Like, he's extremely skillful. Like, he's, was he welterweight? Yeah, I'm a
Welter, yeah.
bantamweight, but he can roll with me and do things to me without using any ounce of strap, and it's pure technical stuff. And like, he's very, like, he rolls. I walk around 70ish kilos. He rolls like he's 70 kilos with me. And I think that's just people like that who can match that weight and energy of people are very technically good and very difficult to go against, because like, fuck, he's matching me
Yeah, it's
technique
like
for technique
natural.
at my level. But
Yeah.
when he has another, I don't know, 70, he might walk around like, I don't know, like 80, mid 80s, high 80s or something like that, and he's able to keep, not obviously he couldn't keep up with me, but just of that technical prowess without using any of his physical attributes. So you can
And
imagine when he's able to use them physical attributes
yeah.
against someone like Islam, who's a big lightweight, but like, I think there's obviously, like, it's the biggest gap between, except light heavy to heavy, it's the biggest gap between his division. It's not 10, it's 15. So for Islam to go up, like, I don't think he's going to have the physicality edge that some people think he's going to have in that. And I think I was able to see how Jack was in the training room and like put a fair bit of money on him to beat Bilal, when people like, oh, his takedown defense was sucks against, I don't know, whoever he fought before Bilal, and that, and to come out and do
Gilbert, I think.
Gilbert and that then sort of thing, and then to come out and do what he did to Bilal, and then to know Craig's over there and to see the success Craig gave Volk in that camp. And even me personally, like, I feel like I'm still very hard to hold down. Obviously, Taporo could do it, and I think doing it again, maybe if I didn't try so many subs because I knew I was 2 rounds down, if I just wanted to get up and get back to the feet, I don't think he could have held me down. Some people might think that's crazy, but I think it's very, I know I'm very hard to hold down. I'm like a fucking squirm little worm.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Crazy.
yeah, well, his style of wrestling, Toporia's style of wrestling, they come from that like where he comes from. That's like the Marab style of wrestling, where like control is dominance. You know what I mean? So look, holding you in a fucking excuse my French, but holding you in a body lock on the ground, bro, isn't really
Yeah,
this. I don't really see that. That's like Dan Seven used to do that back in the day, man, where he
yeah,
just basically like Greco-Roman lie on top of people, choke them from top mount and stuff like that. But like, I don't really see, somebody. What's the word? Stalling in that
yeah.
position, I guess
Hmm.
is the cliche word, like stalling in that position as dominance or anything like that.
Yeah,
The fact that you weren't able to get up off the ground doesn't mean that that's some type of like like dominant position or
yeah,
anything. It's just fucking stalling, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, I get
Just
you.
then I want to get into another type of area of engagement into scrambles. For,
Mm,
for example, like Tapori didn't want to get into scrambles because you guys are dominant in those areas, so it's
yeah,
better to just ride you out on a body lock. Anyway, not to fucking go down that path too much, but yeah, I'm waiting, bro, to see. Craig Jones seems to be really winding up his anti-Daggy thing this last sort of 12 months. I guess Jack Della versus Bilal was a good start. The Volk
mm.
stuff, like he's the man, right? How much of a difference do you reckon? Surely this is the most amount of time he's spent in camp with Jack.
Yep, it
Like
is by
this,
far. It definitely
surely,
is. Yeah, it
surely.
is. Yeah, yeah. I think it's been, or it might be like, not even like 6 to 8 weeks, I reckon, since once they get over to New York and the fight comes. Like, we'll obviously go to fight weekend that. Like I was saying before, like even doing the Ultimate Fighter with Craig, like my jujitsu like exponentially leveled up. Like I came back like honestly like probably 4 times a grappler like that I was in that 3 months before, sort of thing. Because it's just having that guy who has so much knowledge of the specifics, and then also having so much knowledge of what Islam does, because like everybody knows what Islam's gonna come out and try and do. They know what he's gonna do against the fence. They know what he's gonna do on the middle. They know what he's gonna do if he gets to a closed guard, or if he gets to a half guard, if he gets to a side control. What submissions he's gonna attack depending on what your reaction is. So Craig's just so smart and so good at that. He's like, so if we go to scenario A, there's A1, A2, A3. Here's what Islam's going to do. Here's how we're going to counter. Off that, there might be B, 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 then C, C, C. And it's just going through that. And you need time to do that. But you can obviously see what Volk was able to do. Volk was able to end up in the 5th round on top of him, punching his head in. So now you can imagine what a welterweight's going to do to him. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think JDM's a good bet here.
Do you know
Long
what?
story
Yeah,
short.
epic, epic. Do you know what? That's probably the first time I've actually heard anyone give me a proper idea of how Craig goes about. Because I mean, I don't know if other people are like this, but like I watch his stuff and I sit there and I just go, well, I watch all the stuff with like Craig and the freestyle team and then and his work with Jack and all you guys and how he works with all you guys with this stuff. And I always sit there and wonder, like, how does it work? Like, is
Break
he
it down.
sitting, does he bring in guys like them and then go through the motions? Or it's like, but it's not, hey, it's just sequence kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is. Well, say like, what would be good? Like for Islam one, it's like say Islam like to do a half guard and he would do like an shoulder cross base so he could expose the Americana Kimura on the far side arm. So it's like, all right, so here's how we're gonna address the legs. Here's how we're gonna address the head. Here's how we're gonna address the arm. All right, if the leg and head battle is lost, here's what we can do to be able to make it harder. All right, we made it hard, but he still got it here. Here's what we can do, and there's like this. I think that's what people don't understand about jiu-jitsu is like, as I always say, like I always get upset when people tap to chokes because I'm like, if you have a hand to tap, you got a hand to fight. Like there's always something you can be doing to try to make yourself in a better position or prolong your chance of survival until you go out. Like bulk versus or tape. Maybe it's just a mindset that's been instilled in me. Like bulk versus like both legs trapped, arm in guillotine, and he had a palm on Ortega's hip, and all he could do was just kip and hope Ortega's arms turned out. Like if he didn't kip, he would have went to sleep. If he didn't put his palm, they went to sleep. But it's like, all right, I'm in this position. Let's at
Is that
least
what it's called? Kip?
yeah. Oh, kipping's a hip motion where he
Oh,
would
yeah.
do that little leg flailing, and the hand position was just hand, whatever you want to call that. But if he
Yeah.
didn't do that or take a squeeze, he probably would have went out in 5 seconds. But it was able to create enough space, and then same thing with a triangle. It was like, fuck, I've just got now I'm in a triangle. What do I do? All right, I'm going to address the legs. I'm just going to go step by step of the processes and try and technically beat this. And like, if I go
Wow.
to sleep, I go to sleep. And I think that's what's the good thing about having Craig is like, he'll explain like, all right, you may be in shit creek this deep, but you're not out of options yet. There's still things you can do to make it harder, and then where they might gas their arm out, or they might just, you might get that second that might give you a millimeter here to go to here to go to here and escape the lock.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen you down there. You've got, how long's your choke, you say? How long can you hold it for?
What do you mean by like,
Being choked, you told me?
oh, ask Bella. No, pretty long, bro. But like, I don't know. I just tell myself like maybe it's placebo effect, but I feel like if someone's choking, like, because you got two chokes, you got blood chokes and oxygen chokes. Oxygen's obviously for your front and the back, cuts off your oxygen supply. Blood chokes obviously the side, so it cuts off like the bloods, your arteries. I always think if it sounds so fucking dumb. I always think if somebody's trying to oxygen choke me, just when I feel like I'm out of oxygen, I'm gonna turn my neck and make them blood choke me.
Oh, and just swap it.
Just swap
Yeah. You've had too much time to work that out, bro.
it. Look, and I don't think there's actually anything to that. And people who have gotten this far and listened think this dude smoked way too many bongs as a kid to come up with this theory. If you can have something like that, which is instilled, like, all right, I'm getting choked here. Fuck it, have this side of mine. Even if it just gives me half a second, that's half a second. I got to bit my breath. I might get 1 or 2
Yeah,
seconds.
breath
I
in,
get
yeah.
enough half seconds, turns into a couple of seconds. That turns into 10 seconds. All right, I'm going to be all right.
It's building up from there.
Exactly.
Well, all I can tell you is not many people get choked that much that they get to build up these little formulas you've got.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So, did you watch the Reinder de Ridier fight on the weekend?
Believe it or not, I actually watched most fights on that card until that fight. I took my nan out for birthday lunch, so we sort of.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I
that's
did
right.
watch it, but I was like on the phone as I was having lunch, sort of thing. So I saw like bits and pieces, but I wasn't like sole attention on it.
All right. So, what's your? I'm sure you know what happened, and I'm sure you've seen the talk. Where do you stand as a guy who's literally gone through hell and back in that ring?
Yeah.
Like, where do you stand? Like, because I'm sure it's very different for the punters comparatively. I mean, perspective-wise,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, as a fighter, looking at a guy like that who's now done that twice, mind you. He did
Yep.
that in one championship as
Okay.
well
Yep.
against that Malikan or whatever his
Oh yeah, I know
He's
who you're
that
talking about. Yep.
savage looking dude. He did the same thing, sat down, refused to get up. So, what's your look on that? A guy that's just obviously taken probably half a mil for that fight.
There's two parts of me. One part is I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, if he thinks he's done, if that was my teammate or my brother or whatever, and they look me on and they say, I'm done, how would I feel in my conscience if I'm their coach and I say, fuck off, go out there for 5 more minutes, and they get brutally slept or something? Like, it was one of the Maloney brothers, I think, versus Inoue, where the corner guy was like, and he was like, I'm
Yeah,
done. And he's like, I'll call it. I was like, he's like, give me 30 more seconds. Give me 30 seconds of the next round. If I don't think you've got it, I'll pull it. I'll throw a towel into that. He went out and he got brutally
he
knocked out
did.
because of
Yeah.
it. So I think it's always something like, I understand like people can
If the
call you,
mind's out, it's out, eh?
yeah, like I understand people will say, oh, you're a quitter and all this sort of thing. I think if it's a person who's never been in there, you don't need to worry about it. And anybody who like does say that sort of thing in fighters, they probably like have like say Hamzat come out. He probably just hasn't vendetta against IDR, like he doesn't like him because IDR said about grapple him. Like sure, because he did quit like that. Hamzat can say that to him, and it does apply. But I don't think realistically, like, oh, it makes you any less of a fighter or things like that because you can go
I
out.
get where you come.
Yeah, like, well, all right,
100%.
well, okay, he still was one of the best in the world in his sport. It was two division. He beat Robert
Whitaker.
Whitaker, and I thought he's beat some of the best people in the world in that. He thought he was out, and maybe that's just his thought process is, I can't do this. I don't want to say I'll quit. I'll tell my coaches I can't do this, and they'll pull the towel. And then mentally, oh, I didn't stop. I could have went on if I had to, but my coaches pulled me out of the fight sort of thing. So I
Mm.
think, like, would I do it? No, I'll just go out on my shield. But that's just me. Like, you ask 100 different fighters, you might get 100 different answers depending on the circumstances, sort of thing. But I'm not going to be someone who comes out and say, oh, he's a quitter and all this bullshit. Because, like, unless you've been in them scenarios, you know what that feels like. I don't think you really have, like, much of a sort of point of authority to criticize and that sort of thing.
For sure, I appreciate that. I think that could probably be blanketed across a lot of the perspectives of the punters, man. Like a lot of the fan base seems to have a lot of perspectives that you sit back and go like, well, you clearly never have really had to
Bro, the amount of
put any
people I
skin in
reckon who
this, have
say
you?
stuff like that, who I could get them to quit on an assault bike in less than 5 minutes, and then when it's all the professional
Exactly.
athlete who's I don't know, apparently said he was sick or something, but he still fought his ass out for 20 minutes and has another trained killer in front of him and calling him a
Yeah.
pussy for not going out to fight is way
It's
too many.
heavy, eh? It's
Yeah,
heavy,
man.
eh? And it's like a lot of people, like you feel for that dude too. And I agree with you that with the Chimaev thing, like Chimaev's got every reason to. They've had back and forth. That's
Exactly.
just built, it's probably fight building, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Chimaev will probably fight him in the future.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah,
Well, look
it's an
at even
interesting,
sorry, but look at Charles Oliveira. Like he had that reputation of a
yeah,
quitter and everything like that, and now he's one of the most beloved fighters to ever like grace the earth, sort of thing. So I was like, perspectives can change so quickly with things like this. So I think it's I saw like some comments in that, but I didn't like think of it. And I was like, oh no, like he gave up, he was fucked, he was fucked. Like it is what it is. Like he's not going to be the first fighter to do it. He's not going to be the last fighter to do it either.
yeah, it's funny too, because like it's funny. I really believe that the majority of the fight industry would respond in that same way that you just did then. Like most of the people with skin in the game.
Yeah.
It's funny, eh? It's like the people that are so adept to violence and so adept to being aggressive and so adept to all these things are the people that have got the most like compassion and humility for people that are in
Yeah.
difficult scenarios, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
It's because we've
it's a
all
bizarre
been
thing.
there realistically in scenarios in fights or in training. We're like, fuck,
In training too, that's the
yeah,
big one,
there's
yeah.
nothing more I want to do than
Because that's
say
every day.
stop and just quit. But like, you can't. Like, you can, but then you're not going to make it where you want to get to in your career, sort of thing. So it's
Yeah.
like we've been like most if you do a hard training camp, most of your sessions in camp, you're never gonna do it, but you're gonna feel like fuck, I just can't wait for this to be over, and just them thoughts come in because it's human nature when you're 20 minutes deep into one of the hardest workouts of your life, your legs are burning, your arms are fucked, and you got a fresh body jumping on you. Like yeah,
100%. All right, so K-Sib's upcoming fight. I just wanted to
yeah.
touch on that quickly because we mentioned the guy before. You fought him before, eh?
I fought him twice. Yes, as an amateur. Correct.
So who is it? Sorry, what's his name?
Chris Ujolowski, I think it is. I might have butchered that
Ujulowski.
last name. Yeah.
And from memory, he was at the last Hex event we were at, and he was
Yeah.
supposed to fight.
Like that 17-year-old Korean.
Oh, the 17-year-old Korean. That's right. Man, how did that happen,
Oh,
eh?
bro, don't they check passports?
He got a free trip too.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the expectation? What's this guy? Is he good? You guys are obviously getting Casey. He'd be looking to put on a pretty dominant performance after his last one. Like that, the Korean took him pretty hard in that fight.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he'd be looking to come out of this one pretty hot, I reckon. What are you
Yeah,
thinking?
definitely. I think his foundation is boxing, but
Yep.
I've fought him twice, but this was years ago as amateur sort of things. He's obviously gotten a lot better then. But yeah, he's mainly hands heavy, throws some kicks, one-offs and that sort of things. Might sneak a head kick in there behind some punches or something. He's not going to look to offensively wrestle Casey, but I don't think many people will try that against him because they're playing in the Casey's world. So I think realistically, he's going to either try to come forward, heavy pressure, and put Casey against the fence with strikes and look for knees and elbows and like keep long and then try to catch him in the middle. Or I think Casey's going to be able to pressure him back. Then he's going to have to accept the back foot. He's going to look for like uppercuts into hooks and things like that to try to get
Maybe
Casey in
catch
that
him on
center
foot
line
pressure.
coming
Yeah.
through on his shots and that. Like, I think that's all well and good in theory, but I think unless like Casey's in front of you doing it, like you might be able to stop one or two of his takedowns, but it's 7, 8, 9 that you really got to worry about with him.
Yeah, his level changes are just going to
Yeah.
keep coming and keep coming.
Yeah.
And then he's going to hurt you on the in and out of it too. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't get you down, he's going to be constantly throwing
Yeah.
shit at you.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you going to be down there? Are you cornering?
Yeah. So 'cause when I'm out of camp, I try to help out with guys as much as I can. So I'll go
Real
down
team
probably
player.
till Wednesday with it. So I'll go like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, helping cover weight, then corner and everything for it.
Sick. That'd be awesome. Joe going down, do you think?
Yeah, Joe normally just comes down on the Friday for like the weigh-ins, then comes to the fight and flies back to the Sunday.
Yep, sick.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to divert away from the fighting a little bit, and I just wanted to have a quick chat to you about some of your personal stuff going on in your life at the moment. I just wanted to understand, mate, what's the idea with the Crocs and the hiking?
Oh,
What's the theory?
oh,
What's the theory behind the Crocs
it's a very
and
easy
hiking,
theory.
bro?
Okay, so before you put shoes on, what do you put on?
Socks.
Socks, exactly. So now you have socks and shoes on. So if me and you go hiking and you accidentally tread in a puddle, what do you have wet now?
Shoes and socks.
Shoes and socks. Now, if I go hiking in Crocs and I tread in a puddle, what do I have?
Wet Crocs and feet.
Wet Crocs. Now, what's better, wet Crocs or wet socks?
I don't know. I've never worn Crocs before. I don't know. I need to understand how you're doing such hectic hikes in them with 20-kilo fucking packs
Weighted
on,
vest
bro.
on him. Oh, sports mode.
Oh, of course.
Just chucking in sportsy. To be fair, I did the first half of a hike. Bro, this was also like not one of the sketchiest ones I'd done because it wasn't like, oh, wow, it's so sketchy. But we had like 95-kilometer gust winds when we're at like the top of this mountaintop. But it was actually good I had the weighted vest on because like in Blue Mountains, yeah.
The trip with Bella, the one just gone.
Yeah. So like we had to like hold hands at one part and like tour ourselves like on a 45.
Traverse.
Yeah, like to walk across so like we wouldn't get blown over sort of thing. Like it was fucking like the hecticest win I've ever been in. And we're legit like 100 meters from where we had to get to finish it. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. And I was like, well, we didn't come this far to come this far. So let's get there. And then
What put you onto them? My question is like, what got you to wear a set of Crocs on the first time you went hiking, man? Was it an accident? Like, surely you
Oh,
didn't...
no. So I went to a festival. I went to Listen Out Festival and yeah, a bit of a fun one. Take it as it may. So we didn't really get much sleep because it was daylight savings. So
Oh, that's why.
yeah, that's why. So we finally got to bed and then 2 went to 3 and I was filthy and I was like to Mitch, I was like, you know, it'll be fun. I'm like, if we go hiking when the sun gets up. And then so we didn't really sleep and then I was like, I don't have shoes to hike. And he's like, oh, well, I don't want to go if I don't have shoes. And we only one pair. I was like, you wear shoes and I'll wear Crocs. So then we just finished up this festival, had the good old early morning D&Ms and I just chucked Crocs on and we went for a hike. And I was like, this is great.
No
Like,
way.
I went for the hike, went for a waterfall, dried my feet off, put my feet back in the Crocs, and I was like, oh, like, people
It couldn't have been a
overcomplicate.
better. Couldn't have been
Oh
a better
mate,
way
people
to.
overcomplicate this hiking shit. Like there was people doing the hike we did with like full like 15-liter backpacks with like probably an arm and a leg of gear in there, and I just had a weighted vest and Crocs.
Oh man, I still can't. It still blows me out, eh?
Yeah,
Speaking of festivals and staying up too late, spilt milk at the end of the year, mate.
there is, and this is
Spilt milk.
I got a hat for it.
Yeah. Oh, no way. That's so good.
Yeah,
Spilt milk. Who are we seeing? Who's on? Who's
we're
playing?
seeing the two greatest acts from Boiler Room last year was Club Angel and Skin on Skin. So they're at the DJ stage, and then they announced Restricted as well as Sarah Laundry. So it's going to
Oh, I
be
saw that.
the frog eyes are going to be frogging,
Getting googly.
getting googly, getting funky. I call it. Yeah.
That's so good. Um, oh, actually, that reminded me. Bella told me that you got a letter from Dana White. What
Yes.
happened? What's the
Well,
go?
we're trying to find my UFC pictures to get it sent to Jack from Talk to Me, bro, so I could get it framed like my gloves and everything. Then she's scrolling through emails and she's like, "Oh, you got an email or a letter from Dana White?" And I was like, "What?" And it was for my like participation in Sydney, do like the short notice and like them just thanking me and everything like that. And yeah, I didn't even know about it. So
No
thank you.
way.
Like it's a bit late to say thank you because I didn't like see it or reply or anything. I thought I just got. I might have thought it was spam or something. I don't know. But yeah, so
Cheers,
that was cool.
boss.
Yeah, big boss man. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
appreciative. So
Cheers,
when
Uncle
I
Dana.
found that, I found out last weekend. But I was like, "You got a letter from Dana White in your email?"
Boy, man,
I was like,
that's pretty
"What?"
sick,
And then I
bro.
was like, "When?" She's like, "February." I was like, "Oh, okay, my
The
bad."
big man. The big man.
Yeah.
Making dreams come true. That's so sick. Um, Man, I hope he goes into boxing, eh? I hope he actually does it. I hope
Mhm.
he goes into boxing, man, and we just start seeing max amount of. We see like a Dana White Contender Series style thing for
That'd be
boxing,
cool.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just get to start seeing like young, heavy hitters coming through. We get to see more boxing. But, um, bro, did you watch the Corey Sandhagen versus Marab fight?
Yes, I did. I did.
What did you think about it? I know because we've spoken previously about Marab. Like, we actually spoke about this fight, I'm pretty sure. What did you think?
I thought Corey had the right game plan round one, and then I think he just didn't respect him on the feet enough in the second, and then he got clipped and he couldn't just like find his rhythm after it, sort of thing. So I think
Mm.
obviously you take away that scenario in the second, I think it could have been not that it wasn't a competitive fight, but I think Corey could have had more moments. And all Corey, in my opinion, needed was 2 to 3 big moments on the feet to outweigh Marab's single to double chain to body lock to mat returns. Because like, yes, they're
That's
controlling.
all it is, eh?
Yeah, bro. Like they're
It
controlling
really
moments. He
is.
can wind up the clock and he can still time and win rounds away. But if you get 2 or 3 big damaging moments, you catch him with a knee, you cut him a little with an elbow, you get a good 1-2 on him or something. That outweighs that control thing. I think that's what Corey was doing in the first really well. But then obviously he got clipped, and then you go to that autopilot, and then you got that hesitation and that plus Marab being like the machine in front of you that he is with his cardio and just nonstop. Like he shot like 50 takedowns, or maybe no, it was Petty on, but he shot like a ridiculous amount and still secured a ridiculous amount. Like, so I think it's someone, he's almost like that snowball rolling down. Like you have to stop it early, you have to stay in front of it because if it gets away from you, I don't think there's anyone, well, nobody has been. I don't think anybody will be able to stop it unless they get in front of it early.
He just creates the gap gets further in the pace, doesn't it? Like as the
Yeah.
fight goes on, he just widens that gap with the pace. One thing I can honestly say though, like I love Marab. I actually slowly am falling out of love with him as a champion though. Like
Okay.
it's weird. But I enjoyed watching him become the champion, but now as a champion, like it's it's dominant. It's he's done this amazing thing and everything. But dude, like you said, like I just get over how many times can you see like the shoulder carry
Yeah.
to throw down?
Mhm.
That's the big thing in his arsenal, right? Like that's his KO, right? How many times can you see a dude mat return and control wrestle guys, man? Like
Yeah.
what he did to Corey in that little
Flurry.
hand there, that little flurry, that trade, that was cool and everything. But I mean, his game. I'll tell you what I'd like to see from Rab. I'd like to see him up the aggression of his ground and pound by maybe 50%, and then I think I
Yep.
would enjoy him as a much.
Yep.
I'd enjoy him much more as a fighter if he was just more aggressive with the ground and pound.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He
Yeah, I
looks
get
like
that.
he's just spending too much time gathering points down there, looking
Yeah.
like he's kind of going for subs, kind of doing shots, control wrestling. But
Yeah.
what do you
No,
reckon?
yeah, that makes sense. Like, I think, yeah, but I also think, like, he's just like, someone's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, he just has
Yeah.
that style, and he's like, well, I can do this. I can stay damage free. I can beat Sandhagen and then fight Peter Yan 2 months later. Like, it's just insane.
How do you think? So you think Peter Yan the way he wins is what you just said, right? Where he
Yeah.
basically stops him in front of him,
Yeah.
tries to catch him with a shot that either wobbles him
Damage or
or
that.
splits
Exactly right.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Win
And
rounds
you
out.
have to
Like,
do it early.
you're not gonna beat Marab in 5 minute rounds. You're not gonna beat him over 5 minutes by probably winning more time than him. But you can have probably more bigger moments. So you might win a minute and a half, and he might win 3.5 minutes. But his 3.5 was control, not doing much, and you had 90 seconds of damage. They probably might weigh that more. You can't think that you're gonna just be able to stop him over that whole 5 minutes. I think. But also, I'm always Team Marab because he congratulated me on Twitter after my fight, so that made my day. So I'm always Team
You
Marab.
can't say always
Unless he fights Volk. I
unless
don't
he
think he will
fights
fight
well.
Volk. I think they're too like buddy. Like
That's such a good fight.
it is, but I think like I don't know. I think Volk.
I reckon Volk smokes him.
Yeah, so do I. So, man, I don't think
Yeah.
he'll do it. Like, I just think he knows, like, at the moment,
At
like,
featherweight, I mean.
yeah, exactly.
At
He's a
featherweight.
featherweight, and look what he did against, like, Islam on the grappling. Like, you think,
That's what I mean. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And
Like,
there's no cardio gap there.
no, exactly
Like
right. Yeah,
he might be the machine and everything, man, but he's not running away with Volk. No
no, definitely not.
way. Not a chance in hell. All right. What about like to stick in your division? What about this Peyton Talbot versus friggin' Henry?
Cejudo.
Can I say, man, like Cejudo must have played the worst hand
Retirement
ever
card
in
ever.
his career, bro.
Yeah,
Like, what has he done, man? He was like a champion, then like tried to
retire.
flex a retirement on the UFC, and is now fighting Peyton Talbot, bro. Who, mate, he's a dork, eh? I hope you fight him eventually and just like choke him out or something,
Henry.
man. Eh?
Yeah.
No, Peyton
Oh,
Talbot.
Peyton. Oh,
No,
yeah.
Henry, nah. Henry's, I don't know what he's still hanging around
Yeah.
for.
I think that's a hard fight for Talbot, though, to be honest.
Heaps hard.
Yeah, like, I was surprised after that, No, what's his name? Barcelos? Is that his name?
Barcelos, yeah.
Barcelos, yeah, after he grappled him, why they'd give him another. I guess it makes sense, like, oh, wow, Peyton can clip him or KO him. He's beaten, like, the 2 division champion, like, all eyes on Peyton about where his ceiling is, but there's a very real possibility that, like, Henry's washed. He's, like, 38. He's obviously very far out of his prime, but, like, still being an Olympic gold medal wrestler, having his Taekwondo style where he's in and out, and, like, Peyton's not weakness, but his wrestling not being up to scratch of everything else. Like, I'm just not too confident that you can get out grappled pretty badly by Barcelos and fight Cejudo 8 to 10 months, however later it is, and show leaps and bounds. So I think
Yeah.
Barcelos is a good grappler. No, a good jiu-jitsu guy with decent takedowns, but I think Henry's a very, very complete grappler with his
Yeah,
takedowns, with his trips, with his clinching, with his knees, with everything like that.
for sure. Totally agree. He's world class. And, you know, like he's as much as he's an absolute dork, he is a world class grappler.
Yes.
And like you said, an Olympian. And Talbot's shown that he's had shortfalls in that thing. Makes me, like, I'll ask you this question because this sort of makes me think about it. Like, you've recently moved from being, you know, top of the regional scene in Pan Pacific or whatever you'd call it, our neck of the woods. How much of a jump has it felt like as far as competition wise, like, because there really is that. You go from being in your limited regional scene with only X amount of fighters realistically available to fight against, and now, boom, you're suddenly in the UFC where it's all the pools from around the
Yeah.
world. How's the gap felt? Or does it just feel like it's just been another fight, another...
Nah, it's been massive, if I'm being honest. Like, it's been
Yeah.
very big. Like, I had like the 2 fights in Bali, like against like not like the best guys. Like they had winning records, but they were all fights like I was expected to win in the first round, which I did, which is like props to me to like going to fight Poirier and then losing to Poirier and then fighting like go KO Wizard July as like one of the most hyped prospects from Dana White Contender Series, like things like that. So it's been a not like, but then I had hard fights before that. Like I had the Kikembo fight. I fought Manu, Barber. Like obviously these guys aren't that world class level, but they're at least like tough guys to get in there and share a cage with. So like it has,
Yeah.
I guess it was a bigger jump from like where I was at in my career on Chengdu and Hex to UFC, but it's not like when I fought Dwyer or Topuria. Like I said, it's like I feel like I can go skill for skill. Like there's very little things that I haven't seen on the feet. Like I've been privileged enough to be at freestyle, whereas like every single one of Bulk's camps who we got in. Like when he fought Islam, we had Craig, got to grapple Craig. When he fought when he fought Yair Rodriguez, I got to spar with Carl Van Ryn. Like there's no real look that I haven't had in front of me and haven't seen. Doesn't mean I can go out and deal with this look tomorrow in a fight. Like there's still going to be weaknesses in my style versus these styles, but it's never like, oh, I'm going to look at like a fish out of water against these things. It's just like having the right game plan and the tactics. And like, I think for me, like the skills are there and it's just believing in myself. And like I say, with everything, it's just getting that version of me in the gym into the cage. And then pretty much most fights will just take care of themselves that way.
Okay, so what's the game plan with that, bro?
Yeah.
Like
I honestly
what's
think
the
it sounds, maybe it sounds stupid, maybe it sounds smart to other people, but I think I just have to stop caring about winning. It's because my biggest thing is all I want to do is win, and like winning is great, but like then it comes down to, is it a winning because it's like I want to win so I get all these opportunities that comes in my career? Is it win because I want praise from these people? Is it because I wanted to win because I don't want to lose the position I'm at? I don't want to lose these sponsors. And like when I think so much about winning, there's all them factors I just listed. So if that's going to my head into a fight, it's all this external noise. But when I think about fighting, I've got one thing I have to worry about, and that's a fight.
Sick. So it sounds like I'm no fucking psychologist, bro, but like it sounds like it's been in the moment a bit, isn't it? Like it's
Like that presentness. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
like being able to sort of let go of it, or like shed everything for
Yeah.
that
Mm,
thing there. And
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, that's without a doubt the most difficult thing that I find for something as trivial as like this. Like
Yeah.
I work myself up so much just to do this, like just to sit in front of a camera. So
Cool.
to so what you do, bro, like yeah, I can totally imagine it would be really, really tough, man, especially coming from such a high profile gym and
Mm.
having the expectations and stuff that you probably feel like have been put on you. But look, at the end of the day, man, fuck, you're in the win column in the UFC.
Yeah, exactly right.
You're doing it, bro. It's
Well,
not a
that's the
matter of
thing.
like,
Like, it's like, as soon as I won that fight, like, I walked back and I was like, fuck, that was like a shit fight for me. But the thing is, like, it's like, all right, I had a shit fight, but I got the win. Like,
you got the
I'm in here.
fucking win,
I'm a
bro.
certified, like, I'm a UFC fighter. Like, I've won my UFC. Like,
100%.
nobody can take anything like that away from me. It's like, all right, so now
No
I've
way.
got the win. Like, the monkey's off the back. All these little external noises, like, maybe in my head, I'm like, maybe I do need to worry about all of this because it'll give me like such a big motivator, such a big drive that I'll win no matter what. And it's like, no, just let go. There's actually something I used to do, which I want to bring back. I did it up until I think I stopped doing it when I fought maybe one of the Bali fights. But I used to, people probably think I'm crazy, but I used to wake up on fight day and I used to write down in a note. I used to journal a lot more too. I probably should get back to that. But then I used to write down every single way the fight could have went bad for me. Like I have like 2 pages. I'll be like, I just wrote everything down. Like, all right.
Really?
So if I lost this fight by knockout, this would happen and this might happen. Then realistically, by the end of it, like I'd have 2 pages of it all. Then I'd look at it, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And I'll just close it. And then
Yeah.
like, it's just get that all out there. Cause like, no matter what you do, like you might go for people get like anxiety going to the supermarket or going to like a job interview or whatever. And there's like, there's different ranges. Like what seems crazy to me for fighting, like soldiers have to go through that to go to war and like go do these missions. So
Yeah.
just perspective, I think. So I think it's more just like grounding myself with that perspective and like, realistically, I could have walked out of that arena, the RSC arena in Perth, having the greatest performance of my life in a fight, or having the worst performance and getting knocked out. But in probably 3 days' time, the only people who really care about it are probably like the 10 people closest to me, and everybody else probably just forgets about it anyway. I think it's more just like reminding myself of that sort of thing when I'm going into it, instead of just being like, oh, what if, and then you just get sort of caught up in them thought rabbit holes in your own head.
Yeah, God, so many people so many people would relate to that, bro.
Mm.
I relate to that massively. I do it all the time. I play this like mental gymnastics with myself, man, and end up just sending myself into like a spiral. Um, but yeah, it's funny because it is on varying scales. It is on varying degrees, and it doesn't matter. Like some people, like you said, they get scared going out the front door in the morning.
Yeah.
It's all different. Do you know what I've been doing lately, bro? You'll piss yourself. When I've been like going, you know those moments where you want to say to yourself, like, righto, fuckhead, like just pull your head together, like pull it in, like
Yeah.
suck it up, let's get this done. I've been watching this Alex Jones rant. It's like 30 seconds long. And it's just this rant where he's going like, oh, bro, it's so good. I'll have to send it to you. He's just going like, once you work out that it's all fake, the Justin Biebers, the Lady Gagas, and it just goes on this big rant about how once you just get like realize, man, that it's all this stuff it's just a show, bro. Like realistically, just worry about what's going on with you. I mean, yours is amazing. And like you said, the small crew around you are the only people that really matter anyway. And if you know they don't give a shit, should be a matter of just being able to. But it's easier said than done, eh?
Yeah. But even with
Easier
that,
said
even with
than
like
done,
the
bro.
small crew, like it's funny because I always say like, if I flipped a script and say Casey was in my position and he lost 2 fights in UFC, then he got cut, like I wouldn't be like, oh wow, you suck, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. But it's like
No
it's
way.
just things you tell yourself. Like nobody, like
Yeah.
even like
Oh, yeah, I
even
get
like
ya.
Bella, like
Fully.
she doesn't care. Like they only care as much as you care because they care about you, if that makes sense. Like they
Yeah.
generally like my nan, like she doesn't care. She probably cares as much as if I win a world title as if I come home safe. Like this, she's probably
Yeah,
like
yeah.
proud for me because she like knows how much it means to me, but it doesn't like change. She doesn't think I'm like a better grandson because I won a couple of fights now. She's just
Yeah.
happy like I'm home and safe. Same thing like with
And
friends and
safe,
that.
yes.
They just want to see you do well because they know how much it means to you. But like if you don't, they don't think any less of you as like a person sort of thing.
Not at all. And like you said, like the major thing for us is obviously like, bro, like seeing you get the W was like the
Yeah.
best thing ever. But like on the other side of that, the most important thing is like we all are just like, are you all good? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it is the first thing we'll like, you know, what's going on with your leg? Like Paddy's messaging, Ryan's messaging, like everybody's going like, is he all good? Do you know what I mean? Like that's all that everybody cares about. So you're 100% right. Like,
Yeah.
and it is important to recognize that stuff too, man, especially for things like preparation and shit like that, because you get caught up in this cycle of just putting so much like external pressure,
Yeah.
man. And none of them are doing it.
Yeah.
It's an
Exactly.
internal mechanism
Yeah.
and it's working totally in like in the opposing
Against you.
direction of all against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Legit.
Yeah. So what's going on now, bro? What's the plan? What are you doing over the next few months? Are you just gonna
Yeah.
knuckle down and focus on the rest of the team, or what's
No,
your
so I've
plan?
got a lot of things I want to improve on my style. Like there's no like I don't have to change my fight style, but there's more just I have to change my approach, I guess. Whereas I sort of like well, I can even just say like a lot of my style has been more of that movement base, whereas now it's like, all right, I know my movement's there. It's just like it's even like this new thing. I'm just gonna stand my base more. And stand in my base doesn't mean I'm gonna stay in punch range and just swing on with you. But it means
No.
like hold my ground, I'm gonna stay in front of you. And if you're gonna throw a bridge in 1-2, I'm just gonna shift back enough and look for my counters or get off and reset and go and just sort of hold my base that way. Whereas a lot of times you watch me get caught. Like I got caught to pour out because I was throwing double and triple jabs circling instead of standing my ground and dipping with it.
Yes.
I
Yes.
got caught against dry ice. This guy was throwing kicks when I was moving. I was trying to throw slappy punches. So it's like when I get caught because I'm out of position. So I think it's a
Yes.
lot more just refining that footwork and keeping that in position. So it's like It's almost not easier training, but it's almost like doing this less. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
instead of trying to do this look, move 3 times, show a fake, do this 4 times, it's like, all right, no, just show this look and stay there and see what they do, sort of thing. It's just like translating that from my pads to my backgrounds to my sparring and everything like that.
That's sick. So for me, I feel like you've got such good like linear range control. So you're really good. Once you get into a flown state, you're really good at just being just outside their range. Really good. Your pull counters are really good. And I think once you get to the point where you're comfortable to throw your pull counters, I feel like then you've got such a good opportunity to draw them into scrambles because basically, like you said, if you set your feet and most of your opponents are going to look to pressure you, Colby.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're going to look to pressure you on the front foot. The good thing about that is they're literally crossing into your range, and that allows you to either pull them, like, get into an underhook position and force a scramble where you dominate, like where there's literally barely anybody that can compete with you in that regard. So it's like, I feel like your striking is really clever at bringing them into a range where you could engage in
grapple.
In scrambles, not even necessarily takedowns and stuff, just into underhooks,
like that,
you know what I mean. Just get a hold of them, and I think I think when you're circling, I think you lose your in and out.
Yes.
And I think your in and out is incredible. Like I've watched you quite a lot in the gym. You've got some really, really clever strikers down in your gym. God Samurai, what's his first name again? Trent, very clever striker. I mean, you're always with Volk. You've got you've got Kasib, obviously, Justin. You've got really good strikers all through the gym, man. And your range control, your counters and stuff are really slick in there. You know what I mean? Real slick. And you guys dominate in the scrambles. So I'd just love to see an opponent where you were able to get into your flow state, because I just think people are just going to see a totally different.
Oh, exactly right. And that's why it's almost like, as hard as I am on myself with how the fight played out in that, like, I forget, I was telling some of this, I'm like, say when I train in the gym, like, it's not, but I'm like, all right, say if I feel like I'm an 8 or a 9 out of 10 fighter. Like, people can say what they want. When I'm there, that's what I feel like I am, and I know the level I'm at. When fight, I'm being realistic, because why I'm giving myself a 3 and a 4. If I was training at a 3 or a 4 and I was fighting at a 3 or 4, I'd be pretty fucking worried. Because I'm like, I got a lot of work to do. But, like, the work's done. It's just translating the work over into the fight now. So it's not like I'm saying, I can just go out and do. Like, there's still plenty more work for me to improve. But, like, if anybody, like, who's, like, I would say, I can just ask the people I've trained with, like, shit, how it is. Like, how I train isn't how I fight yet. But if you ask anybody about the level I am, when they train with me, nobody's like, oh, no, he probably shouldn't be in there. He can't hold it with these guys. Like, you'll never hear that.
No way. Not a chance. I mean, you've got one of the best trainers in the world constantly telling you to trust your striking.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like a guy that knows one of your strongest paths to victory is going to be your grappling, and he's still constantly calling. Even at a UFC level, he's constantly calling for you to back your striking.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect example. Yeah, cool. All right. So you're going to focus on your stuff, look for February. Would you consider earlier fight?
No, I actually, I've got like this lingering knee injury, and like I can talk about it because I'm not sure, like I think it happened in the fight, but I didn't realize till I bumped it on the couch after the fight, and my knee blew up like a balloon, and I thought I had I thought I like did like the bursa or something to it, but
the bursa,
yeah, but I don't think I did it because like it hasn't healed. It's like getting worse. I just got to get a couple of scans. Like I don't think it's anything serious, but it's just more like we just got to figure out what it is to get it sorted. So like I can't grapple, or I tried to grapple on Monday because I got too agitated not grappling, and I probably made it a bit worse. So now it's just assault bike, bag, pads, and technique work and that. So it's purely all striking stuff. So like I'll be pretty much training full time. Just got to have to sort of see what the goal of this knee is and just sort of see how long I just have to stay off that thing for.
Well, just be careful. You said bursa, right?
Well, that's what they thought it was, but like it hasn't healed, so I don't think it is.
Man,
we have to get like an MRI and that's to sort of figure it out.
I had bursitis in my left knee. Never even knew what a
Yeah.
bursa, like had no idea that thing even existed. And man, that stuck around for ages, Colby. So
Yeah.
look after it,
Well,
eh?
I had
Those
one
ones are
before.
annoying, man.
I did that IMAP. I did 3 fights in 3 days of it. That's the thing. So I did
Really?
3 fights in 3 days of it. I had a tit on my knee, and I went to my doctor after, and he just chucked a syringe in, drained it with a syringe, and then it was better. And this one's not like that. This one's no better, and you can't really drain it. So I'm like, I don't know. Just see what the
Yeah,
people smarter than me think. But as long as I can train,
yeah,
I'm still happy.
yeah.
That's what only saying that because like there wouldn't. I don't think it'd be anything able to do earlier because like this might take like another 4 or so weeks. So I'm back to full grappling. I reckon.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you said you're on a 4-fight contract, right?
Yeah.
So 2 fulfilled now.
Yes. Correct.
Are we looking at ranked opponents yet?
Nah. I'm like there's like 81 bantamweight, so I'm like 70 or 69.
Is there 81?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. I'll probably got like another like. Look, I'm in no rush. Like
Bro, that's
I'm
a
here.
big division.
Yeah, it is. Like I'm here. I'm happy. I'm here, but I've got like I'm not delusional. Like I know I can't beat most of the guys in the top with how I'm performing at the moment. Like, do I think I would have competitive fights in that? Yes. Do I think if the best version of myself showed up, I could give most of the guys a run for the money? Yes. But I haven't been able to bring my best version. So if I can't bring my best version to the fight yet, there's no point in trying to rush myself too much to there. Like I'm young, I'm 26. Like I still got like 4 to 6 years before I even reach my prime, and there were a couple years at my prime. So it's more about like I've had 9 pro fights at this point. Like so, I'm still very green in my career. So I'm very happy to sort of like slowly build up and just get that ring time and get that experience against these crafty guys, sort of thing.
And get the W in the UFC, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a massive achievement, man.
Yeah.
Like I hope you I really do hope you take them a moment to smell the roses,
Yeah.
man. Like it truly is an amazing achievement. I mean, watching Volk's career and everything, being so close to that, I don't know whether you've got desensitized at all to winning.
Sorry, my fucking cat's been another punishment background.
Hello, mate. Yeah, like whether or not you've been desensitized from the UFC winning process from being a part of so many of those winning camps and everything. But honestly, it's such a huge thing, man.
Yeah.
Such a massive thing. Like to go in with, all the top killers and like your first 2 solid dudes at the start, man. You're off to a great start.
Yeah.
I hope you
He was a
do
grappler for the
enjoy the
next
view.
one.
Yeah. Bro, I was screaming for Patchy Mix, hey. When that
Yeah.
Patchy Mix fight finished, I was just like, give him Patchy
him
Mix.
Patchy.
Colby would be perfect.
He has to change his name to no longer in the mix when we fight and I beat him.
A 50-50 mix.
Yeah. Patchy stole the mix.
Yeah.
He's hogging the mix. There's so many.
Yeah, fully. Hey, what's the plan for Spilt Milk? Who's turning up? We got Amina coming. Who else is coming? Casey's coming. We got the whole freestyle team turning out for Spilt Milk.
Yeah,
eh?
most of a freestyle. Yeah, it's gonna be a good crew. It's gonna be.
Is Justin coming?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he is.
Yeah,
No.
the wild man. The
He's-
wild man.
Bro, I've got some stories.
Yeah, sick. All right, brother. Well, it's been awesome catching up for a chat, man, and I'll get you on again soon. Looking forward to seeing you get a hit out again, hopefully in February. We'll be waiting to hear what the news is with Volk, and waiting to hopefully hear that you get that dream link up with him at the UFC, man.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks for coming on. It's been
No worries,
awesome.
brother. Cheers for having me on, Sonny. Appreciate it, brother.
Always a pleasure, bro. And love that hat. Can't wait to see it at Spilled Milk. See you, brother.
Take care, brother.
Take it easy.